let's just jump right in. It's Parshat Chayei Sarah, and yesterday we spoke about the power of who Sarah is and was. Sarah, our matriarch, who is completely absent in the binding of Isaac, is profoundly present in the heart of Isaac, because at the very end of Parshat Chayei Sarah, this portion that's named for her, it opens with her death, and it closes with Isaac being comforted that he has met his soulmate. And yes, there are complications to every single aspect of the Torah, just as there are complications in every single relationship, especially the ones that are sacred. But it is clear that Isaac and Rebekah are something special. It's the first love story in the entire Torah. In fact, and I'll deal with the sort of some of the nuance of the text tomorrow, it is a love story that prompted me to write a kid's book, actually, all about the story. It's called, let's see if I can bring it a little bit closer to the screen, A Love That Will Knock You Off Your Camel, a sweet story about Rebekah and Isaac. And I'm almost done with the book that we're going to launch on November 17th at UJA. I thought it'd be sweet because in reviewing so many of those times that we learned together, it was heavy. I thought it'd be sweet to read you a kid story, read you a little tale. So this is based on this week's parasha, the first love story in the entire Torah, and it's short, but it's sweet. And I'll show the pictures, don't worry. Probably the most important thing I can show you is that it's for Neshama. Oops, there you are. Okay. Once upon a time, in a land not too far away, there lived a man named Abraham. He was a wise person, a shepherd, a teacher. He loved being those things. Here's the picture. But most of all, he loved being a father. Abraham's son, Isaac, was a very special person with a big heart and big feelings. Abraham loved Isaac very much and wanted one thing more than anything else for him, to find love, to find someone who would love him, someone he would love back. Abraham wanted this for his son Isaac very, very much. So Abraham asked his best friend Eliezer to help find a special person for Isaac. Eliezer loved his friends Abraham and Isaac very much, so he agreed to go. Eliezer packed for the journey and brought some donkeys and camels along. They are strong animals that can travel a long distance. Then he thought to himself, I want to find someone special for Isaac, but how will I know who the right person is? When Eliezer found a place to rest, he looked around at all the special people there, wondering which one would be the one who fit Isaac's heart best. He saw that some people had eyes that were brown. Some people had eyes that were green and curved. Some were blue and round. They were all special. Some people had curly hair, or wavy hair, or no hair. Here's the hair page. Some people had noses that looked this way. Others had noses that looked that way. And everybody had earlobes. One person who had straight hair, there you go, greenish-brownish eyes, a nose that looked like a nose, and earlobes, of course, came up to Eliezer, shook his hand, and said, Hey, I'm Rebekah. I don't know you yet. Welcome. It's nice to meet you. You look very tired and dusty. So do your camels and donkeys. Would you all like some water to drink? As she spoke, Eliezer looked into her eyes and saw that they weren't only greenish-brownish. They were kind eyes. There was kindness in Rebekah's eyes. She was a very special person. Eliezer thought to himself, maybe Rebekah is the special person who would fit Isaac best. He thanked Rebekah for sharing her water with him and with his donkeys and camels. And then he told her about his journey. My friend Isaac is a very nice person. He has short curly hair, a nose that looks like a nose, brownish bluish eyes, and he has 2 very nice earlobes. He is also very kind. Would you like to meet him? I think the 2 of you could be very good friends. One day, you might even love each other. Rebekah stopped to think about what she wanted to do. After all, She loved her family and her town so much. She also knew that her mother had once told her that she wanted one thing more than anything else for Rebecca: to find love. To find someone who would love her, someone she would love back. Rebecca's mother wanted this for Rebecca very, very much. Rebecca decided she wanted this for herself, too. So she agreed to journey with Eliezer to meet Isaac. They packed for the journey with extra water Rebecca made certain to bring for the donkeys and the camels. They are strong animals that can travel a long distance, but they sure do get thirsty sometimes. As they came near to Abraham and Isaac's home, Isaac was walking in the field, feeling big feelings and smiling at the trees. He looked up and saw the camels. He saw the donkeys. He saw Eliezer. He also saw someone new. He couldn't quite see her eyes or her nose, but he did notice she had very nice earlobes. Rebecca also saw Isaac in the distance. Her greenish, brownish eyes could see things very far away, so she could see his earlobes, his nose, and his kind eyes. She was so excited to meet him. In fact, she was so excited that she fell right off her camel, laughing and smiling. And guess what happened next? Isaac and Rebecca, looked into each other's kind eyes. They did become best friends. They shared their big hearts. They discovered love together. They found the kind of love that just knocks you off your camel. They told this story to their children and to their children's children. Rebecca and Isaac's story is the best kind of story, a story worth sharing. It is the story of our whole family, every person in this whole wide world, a story of kindness and love. Now, friends, I typically don't do kids' stories. I don't write kids' stories most of the time, but every once in a while the Torah's text makes it sweet. To imagine the love that Isaac and Rebecca shared, to imagine that she had volition, she had agency, she chose her path. That Abraham's best wish for his son would be to find a love like the one that Abraham somehow knew. And of course, part of what we do whenever we read the text is we bring our own hearts into it. Does the relationship between Avram and Sarah look calm? Does it look like the kind of relationship a couple today should want to have? Probably not. Are they both incredibly majestic figures? Yes. Is the absence of Sarah in our parsha named for her, Chayei Sarah, the life of Sarah, is it worth imagining? Is it worth fleshing out? In fact, the very end of the parsha says that when Isaac brought Rebekah into his mother's tent, where she no longer was, because she didn't walk this earth, he was comforted. Now, Rebekah is not a replacement of Sarah. No one is a replacement of anyone. And what she brought was not a functional placeholder. She brought a man whose heart had been wounded at a very young age to a place where he could love. Maybe he did the work. Maybe that's why he was in the field. The rabbis believe he was praying. Maybe we each stand a chance at developing our best selves so that one day we can find love, a love that will knock us off our camel. So tomorrow we'll talk text. We'll look back into the parsha. Today, let's imagine love. Let's send love wherever we can. Let's help people find each other. What a gorgeous way to carry forward the legacy of Isaac and Rebekah, the first love story in the Torah. Here we go.
Yeah.